Dana Cowley. Welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. Today's segment will show you some of the steps the Kennewick City Council leaders plan to take in 2014. My guest today is newly elected City Councilman John Trumbo. And while he is new to this position, he is not new to the City Council process. He's been a journalist for nearly 40 years, and during his 8 years with the Tri-City Herald, he covered nearly 400 City Council meetings, workshop retreats, and much more. So John, thank you for coming.
Dana, thank you for inviting me.
After all those years in journalism, what made you decide to run for office?
Well, I retired in October of 2012 after 38 years, 13 of them with the Herald, a little over 8 covering City Hall in Kennewick. And I would like you to know that 1 year since then has been a good time to be away. However, opportunity came in late last year for me to take a shot at being on the City Council. And since I knew so much about government in general and had such a broad experience of covering various agencies in the Tri-Cities, including, of course, City Hall, I thought it would be, maybe I'd be a good fit on city government. So I tried for it.
And you already like and know the Kennewick City Council, so what things would you like to do to help that organization grow?
Well, the Kennewick City government is a well-run government. It has a very credible and very active city council and mid-level managers and city manager. It's all very, very good, but I would like to join in a little bit just to raise the bar on public involvement and get a little more awareness on the part of the public of what accessibility and accountability can be achieved at City Hall. Being a journalist, those are my passion interests, accessibility and accountability. And I would like to carry that further.
You're also passionate about doing some things for East Kennewick.
I have a residence in East Kennewick, and only in the last 2 years have become a member of the community as being a city annexed property. So when I came into the city, I wanted to be able to continue to represent East Kennewick issues that are broader than the city limits. And I'm talking about where there would be perhaps future growth or future annexation. And I also have a keen interest in what I call core Kennewick, which would be the downtown area, which includes, by the way, the hospital, City Hall, and the high school, among other places. And this area has not necessarily been high on the radar screen in the recent years. Other priorities have been on South Ridge and on Vista Field and on the Convention Center, and rightly so. I would just like to see some of that energy directed to the future of East Kennewick, which would include, of course, Columbia Drive on the riverfront.
And finally, you have covered the carousel story for years and now finally see that to come to fruition from the council position. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's an interesting subject for me because I have a natural interest in things like the carousel and other, shall we say, antique modes of transportation. And Kennewick's history is not well known, even by the people who live here. The carousel kind of brings in that opportunity to focus on the values that all communities of 100 years or so had at one time.
John, thank you for coming.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
This is John Trumbo. He is one of the newly elected members to City Council in Kennewick. I'm Dana Cowley, and you're watching Charter Local Edition Northwest.